Thank you, French Shalom, and greetings to you all. Well, Labor Day is almost upon us. Fall is in the air. There was a full moon the other night. We've almost finished this year's reading of the Torah, and for some, it's an annual event. For others, it happens once in a blue moon. Now, there's an expression we all have used. The uniqueness of an event occurring or us doing, that's a rarity. Now, this week we had a full blue moon. And a blue moon is a second full moon in a month. It was the only one in 2023. But it wasn't just a blue moon. It was a super blue moon, which means the full moon occurred when the moon was closest to the earth. That's not an astronomical term, but that actually comes from an astrological one. Blue moon. You saw me standing alone. Without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. We wish upon stars, we wish upon blue moons, four-leaf clovers. They're all just methods of prayer. You're going to see that later in today's show and in the weeks ahead. The full moon tells you, though, that we're just 2 weeks from a new moon, what many consider the most important new moon of the year. And there's no doubt the two equinox moons, and we talked a little bit about them before, hold greater spiritual significance. Both are times for reflection, one for initiation, one for correction. And you can just feel it. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh, I've been waiting for this moment all my life. Oh, but I remember, don't worry. How can I ever forget? It was the first time, the last time that we ever met. We can feel it. We can feel the pain. We can feel the hurt. We can feel all of the things of our life. This sums up the holiday coming. In many ways, we remember hurts. We hold pain, but we need to forgive and move on. We need to see where we have done the same and seek forgiveness. It's an important thing to do. We have the power to free ourselves. And being Jewish means caring for each other. It's built in. Regardless of what we believe or how we affiliate, it is a part of our genetic makeup. It's baked into our being and into our texts. And perhaps the best known text is from the Talmud. In Shavuot 39a, Kol Yisrael Aravim Zeh Bazeh. All of Israel are responsible for each other. And the word Aravim is literally translated as guarantors, which implies a true legal obligation. We as people are obligated to be responsible for all life. And I'm sure many of you have started to realize that there have been all kinds of illusion of truth events in your life that we talked about, some of which could be very well connected to the modern Mandela effect, which has only really been around since 2009. And that's when people believe something that didn't exactly happen or when people think it did. And often that's because our global village mass media forms of communication, so apropos for the Aquarian age, perpetuate illusions of truth. We have to be careful of the mob. You're in the period of deep thought and examination. It already began as we all seek that kativa v'chatima tova, the good inscription and sealing. We've less than 2 weeks before we commence the 10 days of awe, the Jewish high holidays, which are really holy days, not holidays. Change the I to a Y. Rosh Hashanah to Yom Kippur. Now notice I said one to the other, not one and the other. Now often when people talk about the Jewish high holy days, they say Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. It's both. It gives separation and difference. Makes them appear to be two sacred dates that happen to be close together. They're called for in the Torah. The first Yom Teruah, the day of horn blowing, now known as Rosh Hashanah, on the first day of the 7th month. And then The Day of Atonement, Yom Kippur, the 10th day of the 7th month. Then there's another one on the 15th day of the 7th month, but we'll leave that one out for now. Rosh Hashanah to Yom Kippur are both special days, but represent one continuous period of 10 days, supposedly to represent the last 10 days that Moses spent on Mount Sinai receiving the second set of tablets. Now, on the first day, God opens the 3 heavenly books, which he inscribes each person's fate. We talked about them last week. We scramble to seek forgiveness and amends, culminating on the day of Yom Kippur when private and public petitions and confessions of guilt, the vidui, is done, and are hoping we will be sealed in the book of life. You know, but it's a lesson in examining the mirror of self, and that means, my friends, mind your own business. Focus on you, not your neighbors. We're going to gather then, as we gather now, in a group, celebrating, just as we celebrate now as a collective consciousness of secret showing faith. Any and all faith, love, any and all love. Seeing the commonality of all, the preciousness of each, because we are each here for the other, because we're a community, a chavura, fellowship expressing our nature of kindness, compassion, thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, and wishes that unites us all in this community house of spirit, Beth Ruach, sharing and bringing light, keeping fear at bay. So once again, go ahead and invite everybody, physically, digitally, psychically, emotionally, spiritually, to gather and share from Psalm 133, the Hine Matov. Hine Matov. Shevet Achim Hine Matov. Shevet Achim. How good, how pleasant it is for brothers and sisters together. Community. 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 Together. Let's all spread love, goodwill, and fellowship to the world. Remember, friends, this is you setting aside just a little bit of sacred time in your own sacred space to honor and converse with whoever, whatever you happen to believe in, because, like it or not, we all actually do believe in something. That's a part of your kavanah, your intention that you put out to the universe. It's your goodwill. Goodwill and intention are the roots of what you control, of what you correct. Your intention sets in motion everything that occurs in your lives. Let's take some time now. Let's use that intention. Let's send some of that goodwill, some light, some healing out to everyone that needs it. Healing and renewal for everybody. It floats through space, finding those in need. So send it out for those you know, for the souls and spirits of everybody you love. Think of whoever that needs healing and renewal and love, or just plain goodwill. Focus on them. Call their names. It's not just for people. It is for our pets. It's for the earth. It is the healing of the world. The tikkun olam. It's part of our spiritual genetic makeup. We have to help heal the world. We each have to do what we can to improve and change our little corner of the universe. As we change ourselves, we change the conditions of life and everybody around us. And a part of the healing of the world is when we send the thoughts and energy for health and renewal and goodwill for everybody. Now, they don't have to be sick. It's for those in our hearts and our minds. But it helps those who are sick. We pray for those who need prayer, because prayer is an effective method of communication with God. We're getting ready to go into a real period of prayer, of entreating, of helping. We help ourselves, we help others. We don't have to know them. We want health, recovery, good life for everybody around us. It's part of what we're here for. For Elmo and Kay, for Leanne and the builder, for Snoopy, Gloria, Doria, Maria, for Fern and John, for Connie, Ronnie, for Nina and Danny, for Mary, for all those suffering and in need. Let's not forget to include those familiars of our lives. All of our sacred animal friends everywhere, for everybody you know in need, for the whole world, for Rosemary. Friends, it is the kindness, the healing wishes, the goodwill and love we all send out. It just circles the world finding those in need. So thank you, each of you, for all you do, for all you care, because the world is a world of spirit. The spirit, my friends, never dies. Makor made the soul sit straight. That's the one let us all have our spirits renewed. This is the great prayer for healing. Call upon God to heal as he's healed before. Yishaberach, may he who blessed, because all healing is a blessing. Let's all send and receive healing and renewal energy in our efforts to love, to share, to care, to grow. Now, this week you're going to read, another one of those interesting parshas of the retelling of the law, because everything changes a little bit. This week we read tavo, when you enter. Now, do you remember way back in Exodus when Moses first went and spoke to Pharaoh? That parsha was called bo, which we said could mean come or go. Tavo is from that word. Now, the B and the V of that letter, tavo and bo, were the same. And it meant you could come or go. Hence, when you enter is a translation that's often used. Now, this reading lays out the 12 curses and blessings with the emphasis on curses. Don't forget, man is evil in his heart, with 4 times as much space devoted to curses as blessings. So much of this book is about blessings and curses. Now remember, one mountain's going to proclaim blessings, the other mountain the curses. As you see, the big thing when you read this is the 12 curses, one for each tribe or every person, because the tribes represent the signs of the zodiac. And that, of course, covers everyone. Sure enough, we're cursed for many of the usual suspects: making an image of God, being disrespectful to parents, moving a neighbor's boundary marker. Curses for those who lie with their father's wives, or with animals, or for any who lie with their sister or lies with his mother-in-law. But the ones I want you to think the most about are Deuteronomy 27:18. Cursed be the one who misleads a blind person on the way. Friends, sometimes the blind are simply those who do not see, and they are easier to mislead. Deuteronomy 27:19. Cursed be the one who bends the judgment of an alien, an orphan, or a widow. Again, the 3 groups we must especially be careful for. We have to protect, we have to feed, we have to clothe, we have to care. Deuteronomy 27:26. Cursed be the one who will not uphold the words of this instruction to do them. That final curse is on anyone who will not support and perform the words of this instruction, meaning the words of this Torah. In other words, the Torah as a whole. That's really the kicker. It's everything. It's not just a couple of the laws. Here's all of them. But those ones are generalizations. They didn't list this incredible series of detailed curses. Things like no rain, death and destruction, exhaustion, being ravaged, exploited, defeated. You name it. We're going to get it. Including us being driven to cannibalism and being exiled. We know that one. Sad history of the people, exiled from every home they've ever had. But it's not all that bad. The blessings are pretty good. Abundance, peace, great weather, fruitfulness, even holiness thrown in for good measure. But what you're also going to get in this reading is the first true liturgy that occurs in the Bible. Other parts were used and taken for liturgy over the time, such as the Shema, taken from another part of Deuteronomy, or the Thanksgiving prayers after a meal. But we're actually going to read the first prayers actually said. They're laid out for us. We see 3,400-year-old real initiatory practice. We're instructed in ritual and word and have a glimpse at early sacred practice as it was done. A Wayback Machine journey to beginning religious observation. Deuteronomy 26:2. You shall take from the first of all the land's fruit that you'll bring in from your land, that the Lord your God is giving you. Set it in a basket. And go to the place that the Lord your God, we know the place, chose to tent his name there. You shall come to the priest, the Levite who's in charge, who will be in those days, and say to him, I declare today to the Lord your God that I've come to the land that the Lord swore to our fathers to give to us. And the priest shall take the basket from your hand and set it down in front of the altar of the Lord. And you shall answer and say in front of the Lord your God, my father was a perishing Aramean. So you've brought part of your harvest to the priest. No animals here. And likely the Aramean mentioned is referring to either Abraham, who came from Mesopotamia, or Jacob, who spent 20 years there after fleeing from Esau. It then continues. So he went down to Egypt and resided there with few persons, but became a big, powerful, and numerous nation. And the Egyptians were bad to us, degraded us, imposed hard work on us. We cried out to the Lord, our father's God, and he listened to our voice, saw our degradation, our trouble, and our oppression. And the Lord brought us out from Egypt with a strong hand and an outstretched arm, but with great fear and with signs and with wonders. And he brought us to this place and gave us this land, a land flowing with milk and honey. And now here, I've brought the first of the fruit of the land that you've given me, O Lord. You shall set it down in front of the Lord your God and bow in front of the Lord your God. Now the prosperous farmer, even as he brings to the sanctuary specimens of the first yield of his crop, recalls how his forefathers were close to dying from famine and were obliged to go down to Egypt, where in due course they were enslaved. This liturgy shifts the grounds of the ritual of Thanksgiving harvest from the agricultural cycle to incorporating a retelling and entrenchment of history. Our first real prayer is historical. I'm often asked about prayer, and it is different for everyone. But here you see the first part of a 3-part dance that makes up prayer. It's what will be happening during the 10 days of awe coming up. Prayer is a one-way conversation between you and whatever higher power you choose to acknowledge or believe in. You're engaging in dialogue with someone who can grant you something. You know, when we pray, we're asking for something, and we're actually using a model that existed since ancient times when petitioning a ruler. It doesn't matter what you want. If it's peace on earth, $1 million, love, a parking spot, it doesn't matter. Our request for something is there. This is the great dance of the entreaty. So a system was put in place. Praise, thanks, request, a 3-part dance. You praise the king, or in this case, the king of all, for his greatness. You thank him for all he has done, and then you ask for something. Now, you'll notice the special prayers said during the High Holy Days are all based on this formula. You know, our Father, our King, you're awesome. Thanks for being so great. And by the way, can I be forgiven for whatever I've done and live another year? It is the essence of prayer. Acknowledge, praise, ask. And here we are taking history, and we're making it part of the prayer. And that gives it life, and it makes it real. You have given everything to me. What can I do for you? You have given me eyes to see. What can I do for you? Pulled me out of bondage, made me renewed inside, filled up a hunger that had always been denied, opened up a door no man can shut, and you opened it up so wide. You've chosen me to be among the few. What can I do for you? Now, this is what we do on Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur. But with sincerity and authenticity, you should look at yourself and the depths of your soul. Now, this is actually something you do all the time. But those are the times you may not notice. Those are the times that tend to come from, desperation. That's when we often talk to God. Yes, my friends, the world is sacred. So is everything in it. Express your gratitude, light a candle, make a wish, celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share feelings with them. Live free, be free, honor your freedom, be well, be happy, be blessed, Share and honor the light, all who live in light and continue to shine. Continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everyone. Remember, we're a community. We learn together. We celebrate each other. We love each other. We share the ride together, men and women equally. So let's all send out love, not fear. Send peace, harmony, goodwill, and healing to all who need it. Please do learn to forgive and learn to love, including yourself, maybe especially yourself. Open your hearts. Honor the relationships of your life. Tell those you love that you love them. You won't get another chance. Examine your intentions. Use them to put your will on the universe, because we set in motion everything that happens in our lives. It's our intention, our Kavanaugh. It's our cause, our effect. Everything's linked. You always have time to forgive and be forgiven, because you have the knowledge of what's good and bad. Acknowledge what you've done wrong to yourself, to God, and to any person you've wronged. Ask forgiveness. But do so with sincerity, accountability, vulnerability. Forgive those who've hurt you as you learn to be forgiving and compassionate. Because the secret of forgiveness, compassion, peace, is simple. It's in acceptance. Can you accept yourself, other people in the world, just as they are? Can you accept life as it is without trying to control it? Because if you do, you could experience the peace that acceptance brings. Keep on dreaming. Keep on being, keep sharing, keep shining, keep teaching, keep spreading joy and goodwill. Do not follow fear. Follow love. It's always in front of you. Remember to have faith. I have faith in the principle of love in all of you. Act with purity of heart and mind. Despise none, defraud none, hate none, cherish all. Honor every child of God, every creature of the earth, even spiders. May all people know peace in this year. May you nurture kindness and love everywhere. Please work to be present in the body. Expand the heart, quiet the mind, because the deepest source of real power, it lies in your consciousness and your ability to be mindful, to be aware, to be present in all of life's circumstances. You are forever blessed, and you have the ability to bring blessings to everybody you meet. You just may not realize it. Health, love, and renewal to everybody you come across. Because we're all energy, and energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed. Your words are the power to transform. So love and bless. Be generous. Because as you bless yourself, you bless everybody. Love with the heart. We're all part of a greater whole. Embrace love, not fear, forgiveness, not anger. Be there for someone, because someone will always be there for you whether you know it or not. Whatever you feel, others have felt. Whatever you've experienced, others have too. We're all the same. We share everything. We learn together. We share together. We help each other, because we are each of us simply trying to find love and acceptance. We have or could have that special someone in our lives, so find them. Tell them what they mean. Keep forgiving those you need to forgive. Keep asking forgiveness from those you need to ask forgiveness of. It's not just a 2-day thing.